Tensions have resurfaced within the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, as the party distances itself from recent comments made by its 2023 presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso had alleged that the Tinubu-led administration was marginalizing the North in federal road infrastructure projects, accusing it of channeling national resources disproportionately to the South. Now, he made the statement during a stakeholders dialogue on the review of the 1999 Constitution held in Kano.
Join us now for reactions to this development is the National Chairman of the NNPP, Honorable Agbo Major. Good morning and thanks for joining us in Breakfast Central.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Now, I would like to know the official position of the party and Alhaji Rabiu Kwankwaso's comments with regards to marginalization of the North.
The press release you see there, which has outrightly condemned Kwankwaso for making such a reckless statement, it emanated from us, from the leadership of New Nigerian People's Party, the NWC, led by myself. Of course, it's the National Secretary, Chief Ogini Olakwosi Sunday, that issued that statement. And it was in reaction to the reckless statement made by Rabiu Kwankwaso, a dismissed member of our party, who, of course, was our presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. We felt that the era of using the name of our party to make such careless and reckless statements is over by him, especially now that he has long ceased to be a member of our party. More so that the attitudes of NNPP always is that of constructive criticism. We don't just come on air, maybe to the newspapers or the TV, to begin to condemn a government that is in place without offering alternatives, by going deeper to say, okay, if it were us, this is the way we would have done it and all of that. But the good thing is that we're only reacting to a position that is long dead, because I also noticed that the presidency very swiftly reacted by churning out a retinue of projects that they have completed across the North. Unfortunately, our political leaders have continued to divide us along the lines of religion and tribalism, which is what Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso stands for. Otherwise, with what we saw as the official reaction of the presidency, it is obvious that a lot may have happened across the North in terms of infrastructural development, which is why he was calling the presidency out. And so doing this, taking advantage of, how do I describe it, innocent voters and innocent followers, by churning out lies, telling them what is not real, calls for serious questioning. And that is why our job as political parties is to continue to educate the electorates to be able to separate between the truth and what is not the truth, And so with that, the leaders who have continued to tell lies in the name of doing politics against the interests of the ordinary people, Nigerians will be able to identify them easily. But the summary of my position on that and the position of the party is that the presidency has reacted, and they didn't just react in a vacuum. What they did was they came out with a list of infrastructural development projects that are ongoing, and including those that have been completed across the entire North, including his own state, Kano, where I saw massive developments. I think there's a dam project, something like that, because I took my time to look at the list that the presidency brought out. So Nigerians must be wary, not only when Kwankwaso comes to speak as if he's speaking on behalf of NNPP, because he has long ceased to be our member, but also to understand that the antics of our politicians, who tend to continue to, divide us along the naked lines of religion and tribalism and ethnicity, we have to continue to discountenance that. Because as it stands now, Nigeria is in a position where the time to build is now, the time to unite is now. And so anybody who has continued to do things that tend to separate us and disunite us is clearly against the development of our democracy as well as the stability of the nation.
All right. You mentioned at the start of this, responding to Benga's question, that Mr. Kwankwaso is no longer a member of the NNPP, but another divide of the same political party will disagree with you. As a matter of fact, it seems the other faction agreed that Mr. Kwankwaso is a bona fide member of the New Nigeria's People's Party. So let's allow you to break it down for us, especially for the benefit of those who are watching us from Kano and other states. Can you clarify if he still is a bona fide member, but has either been suspended, like we've seen the SDP suspend a former governor of Kaduna State for 30 years, or he's not a member at all, he has resigned? Where do we stand?
He never resigned. It was the party that asked him to go, in line with the provisions of the unique constitution we have, which we have always boasted in the open as a constitution that is completely different from that guides the operations of other political parties. We have various organs of the party, and all of them report to the Board of Trustees. And these are things that we have repeatedly reinforced on air since 2023, that due process required, as at that time, that he be disciplined for getting deeply involved in anti-party activities shortly after the election. We saw how he had a series of meetings with other candidates of other political parties, how he also attempted to use the party to do things that are not in the interest of the party. And above all, the inquest that started and is still ongoing on the alleged mismanagement of the funds of the party, which were generated from the sale of funds and all of. On the grounds of that, first, he was invited in line with the provisions of our constitution in 2023. He refused to show up before a committee. The committee recommended to the NWC that he be suspended. He was suspended, and the NWC also went further to a convention that was held later in August of same 2023, where he was outrightly expelled in line with the recommendations of the various organs of the party. So since then, he has ceased to be a member of our party. He didn't resign. The party, in line with the provisions of its constitution, asked him to go. That is not the issue. Yes, they kept kicking. They tried to kick. They tried to mislead Nigerians on the TV screens and on the newspaper pages that what was done was not in line with the provisions of the Constitution. And so, as law-abiding citizens, what we did was to quickly move to the court, where we secured a very sound court judgment from Uzuakoli High Court in Abia State that confirmed his cessation of being a member of the party. That judgment clearly confirmed that. Okay. And when they were not comfortable with the judgment, they took us to a federal high court here in Abuja, where they were also roundly defeated, thereby confirming the position of the Abia High Court. So by both procedures of the party, as well as legal jurisprudence, Kwankwaso has long ceased to be a member of our party. I can say that emphatically.
Thank you for clarifying that, Honorable Agbo Major. Now, let's talk politics. As we into 2027, there seems to be a new bride, a political bride in town, and I'm talking about the opposition ADC coalition, which is seen as a gathering of heavyweights in Nigerian political scene. What's the position of the NNPP on this coalition, and are there any inclinations, or are you thinking of joining the coalition, and what's the NNPP's plan for 2027? Do you think you can do it alone, or you will be pitching your tent with the ADC coalition? Did you get my question, sir?
No, not at all, not at all. I couldn't just hear you at all. But
I'll repeat myself. I wanted to know the NNPP's position on the opposition coalition, ADC. Will you be joining the coalition as a party, or you will be going it alone in 2027?
Well, we respect the inalienable and unquestionable rights of Nigerians to associate under whatever name, while we also welcome what is going on under the umbrella of the ADC. What I can confidently tell you is that at the moment, we have not had any form of discussions with them as a group, as a coalition, but that say that as a political party, we should not freely relate with sister political parties. But what I can tell you comfortably is that as at today, that I'm speaking to you and speaking to Nigerians and viewers all over the world now, we haven't formally opened any discussions, not only with the ADC, but with any other political party. We have always believed that the primary role of every political party is to be able to do its job, which is to galvanize people, put their views together, and then go look for run candidates for elections, win elections, and then implement the manifestos of such a political party. But that is not to say that if at any point you would need to collaborate with any other political party to be able to achieve your objectives of winning elections, to be able to execute your policies and manifestos, it's not an aberration. It's not an aberration at all. But what I can tell you as of today that we're talking is that we haven't had any form of discussions with the ADC. We also haven't had any form of discussion with any other political party. We are still primarily concerned with our primary role of standing firm as a political party, talking to people. In fact, we are even bothered that 2 years to an election, governance is allowed to suffer, not just suffer, because the distractions are so many. So they are not even allowing the government to concentrate in executing its policies. And we're worried about that. In the past, we used to know that there were one form of sanctions or the other for political parties as contained in the Electoral Act who move out ahead of when the whistle would be blown to go and campaign. But we're not seeing much of that from the present leadership of INEC. And I don't know if that is clearly an abdication of their duty, but we are worried with the way we are going, because very soon we'll get to a level where a year after election, those in office will begin to campaign instead of doing their job of providing democracy dividends to Nigerians. If in 2 years we are now campaigning, it means maybe during the next, as we move towards the next election cycle, which is 2021, after 2027, maybe there will just be 1 year of governance and then 3 years of politicking. If that happens, it means we have lost the real essence of democracy and the real essence of the provision of democratic dividends. And so we're worried about that. We're not in a hurry, but like I said, we haven't opened up any discussions with any other political party, including the coalition. Of course, they have tried to reach us repeatedly. Our position has been that we are still, you need to ensure that your house is firm so that you will now become a beautiful bride to be, wooed outside. So we are still looking towards doing our job of mobilizing people for 2027. We're not talking with any political party. We're not talking with any individual yet. And so, but when the time comes and we have any reason to have any form of understanding with the coalition or any other political party, we won't hesitate to inform Nigerians.
All right. We have just 3 minutes to go, so it means we need to speed up, and we'd like your responses to equally be fast before we go for the news. I want to play a video to you. Yesterday, we did speak with a guest who actually highlighted a situation happening in the SDP. And why he highlighted this, he broke it down for us. I'm talking about the SDP National Publicity spokesperson, Mr. Rufus Ayinigba. Please take a listen and take a look.
At his level, being a former minister, two-time governor, and all of that, we just felt that, he knows what to do and that he would do the needful. But we were alarmed when the SDP in Kaduna State, from his word, came up and said, no, he never at any point registered. His name is not on their register, the party register, and all of that. And that, obviously, we're not even comfortable with the activities that he was doing already. And at that point, we stepped in and said, okay, let's give his attention. We give his attention to it, but we just felt that, he will do the right thing. And he kept on with his activities. Obviously, he had the grand plan to take the structure of the party and deliver to the coalition. We never had any formal meeting with him at the National Working Committee level.
Okay, so we just wanted you to hear that because that's the national spokesperson for the SDP. And we have 2 minutes to go. He was talking about the former FCT minister, Mr. Nasir El-Rufai, how he came to the party, and what he tried to do, and that's why he has been banished for 30 years. Is the NNPP willing to take the former FCT minister in if the opportunity comes?
Well, you know, our attitude is always that when you get to a bridge, you design how you cross it. Until we have him, let's talk to us first. We will now know what to do next. But like I said, and I've always insisted, the era of impunity is gone. You can see how cheap the mistakes he made. And that's why this guy has comfortably described him as somebody that they had thought have the requisite experience to be able to do the right thing. How do you join a party when the constitution says you must go to your ward to register? Eventually, his name is not on the ward register. And so which party would be dealing with such a person? If he comes to us, he's a Nigerian, he's free to join us. But what we will do is to insist that he follows due process, you know, as constitutionally required, which is to go down to wherever he needs to fix his name up from and then begin to come up. He also alleged that they uncovered his plot to drag the party into coalition. Yeah, that's another one that he also has said. But like I said, I don't know what the SDP constitution says about such union, but every party has its ways of getting into such marriage or such union. And so I won't be at the position to comment on that, but it's a suspicion which they felt they needed to preempt and then be proactive in dealing with. And so that's what their party says they should do, and that's exactly what they've done. But if El-Rufai gets to us, as a Nigerian, we cannot deny him membership of the party. We would only insist that he goes down to do the right thing, which is to join the party from wherever he should join from constitutionally, so that he won't be jumping the gun like he has done now and then has found himself in this deep mess in the SDP.
Thank you so much, National Chairman of the NNPP, Honorable Agbo. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you this morning on Breakfast Central, albeit a short time. I had a few questions to go, but I guess I'll leave it for next time. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.